once again, thank you for tapping in on this Motivational Monday. I am yours truly, King Jacob, and you are now currently tapped in with the Chatterbox with King Jacob, where we bring you the live, raw, and uncut from the business owner to the sports figure, to the nonprofit owner, to the music influencer, so on and so forth. So tonight we're tapping in with South Carolina's very own. This man needs no introduction. Um, Mr. Nathaniel Levine of the South Carolina Top 100, which this platform is a very, very, very huge platform, and it has influenced a lot of South Carolina artists to understand the media base of the sound when it comes to the airwaves. And so, none other, man. What's up, Nathaniel?
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, who is Nathaniel, man? Like,
Who is
the,
Nate?
for, yeah, for the people that want to know, man, how would you describe yourself to a person that wants to know and just want to pass a positive message along about what you have done and how you have followed out your purpose in life thus far?
Okay, okay. Well, who is Nate Levine? A person who's work in progress, who's still under construction, uh, someone who's still growing, uh, and trying to figure out who he is. So I'm just a work in progress right now. I just like to do things that challenge me. I don't want to be consistent. Just constant on that same level. I like to grow. I like to make mistakes. It happens. I'm human. I have failures. I have success. Uh, I just like to just do things that help me learn uh, and just develop my skills, my natural skills. I created SC Hip Hop 100 is a great example of who I am uh, because you say pretty much when a lot of people who I loved died in my life, and I just decided that life is too short. Just to wait till things happen. Just go out there and just make things happen. And
Hmm.
so I not really a people person. I'm kind of private in my own personal life, but I wanted to create a radio station because I love music. Uh, I came across an independent artist because we used to work together. We weren't friends. We just had lunch together, and he said that he was an independent artist, and that was kind of new to my vocabulary because I didn't know, there was artists out there trying to trying to make it big. So
Hmm.
at the time, it was all new to me because either if don't hear you on the radio or I didn't see you on the Billboard charts, pretty much you don't exist in my world. So when this guy was telling me about his uh we say his journey to become an independent artist. He has some scams and mishaps. So he took a break and he just told me like, "Yo, you seem like a very positive person. I like the way you carry yourself. Blah blah blah. I want you to be my manager." I told him I don't know anything about any management by independent artists and stuff like that. So he gave me this book that his mentor showed me, gave him, and so I read it. That's okay. I can. And he was very talented. I asked him, "Yo, just rap something to me," and he just off the cuff just went out and just did his thing. And I'm like, "Wow,
Hmm.
okay, maybe we can make money together," And so that's what happened. And I just took the advice that I read from this book, went online, figured things out, put his music out on Z93, Hit Factory, uh, you know, learn about the performance rights organizations and copyrights and put your music on the streaming sites and things of that nature and just share it to the people out there in Charleston.
Hmm.
So it was all new to me. So I took the risk, invested in this guy talented because now I'm not an artist. I'm not a producer. I don't have a studio. I'm just a regular hardworking person. So everything just came about that way. Until he took a break, and so I just learned. I heard another internet radio station, so I I like to promote other independent artists, try to get them off the ground.
Right.
And so I contact them through social media, like, yo, you want me to promote you? Blah blah blah. Of course, they didn't know me, of course, and they say no. So I just off the back, yo, let me just, because back in the days I used to listen to Walt Baby Love. Who didn't know him? He was a radio personality
Right.
at Top 25 back in the days of Z93, and probably
Right.
other radio stations across the country. He was based in California, and I used to just love listening to the Top 25, reading the Billboard charts, magazines. So I had a history of charting, music charting, and this music in general. And music charts are very important. It's just an indicator that show how well your music is doing. And so I pretty much kind of copy that from a professional standpoint, create my own chart, let the artist know that I exist. And I told them that I'm just a regular person, don't have any connections to the radio stations or radio industry. This is just based on what I think is the best songs. So they spread it throughout social media, and it became, I won't say viral, but in the context of getting over 1,200 independent artists. So from someone who pretty much.
Hold up, bro. Hold back up, back up, Nate. Hold up, bro. So we're gonna say this for the people in the back that didn't hear you. Never knew nothing about radio. Listen to Walt Baby Love, which is a legend.
Mm-hmm.
You always was reading about the Billboard charts and who was charting and stuff like that. So you decided to start an independent station.
Yep.
And at first, they didn't want to rock with you. But over a period of time, they said, he doing something different that ain't nobody else doing. And so you acquired 1,200 indie artists on your station.
Yep. Not only from South Carolina, from all over the country. Even I talked to artists in Mexico, Israel, Italy, all over Africa, some places in Africa, some countries in Africa, even Canada. I don't know them. This
Right. It's interesting, man. It's interesting how you can be so invested in your grind, man, and like literally you already knew it can happen. That's why you did it. You already had that notion, like, I can do this. I can make a difference in these independent artists' lives. And so as time went on, man, as the station progressed, you had about 1,200 indie artists. And so how did you set up all that format, man? Was this a 24-hour station or what?
It was a 24-hour station. I just played their music constantly. Sometimes do promotional ads, if they pay for 30 days radio promotion, I would do that, all kind of things, neat things, all day radio stations just for their songs, album blast on Twitter. Because I had a great radio station, internet software, not software, but this company called AirPro. And they make the best radio stations because they attach pretty much Twitter to every spin. They will, of course, you gotta create your Twitter account and get like DJs or whoever in the music industry as your followers or whatever. And they would actually, every song that is played, they would send out a Twitter blast to all your friends and their friends and their friends, their followers and their followers. So it just automatically did that, and it was great. It was really great, and that's Twitter also was a big input onto the radio promotion part on my side. So because I created a great Twitter account, so it just shared out probably like 15,000 views in 30 days, sometimes six figures, over 100,000. It was really great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting, man. So as you did this, man, like, what was your thoughts in your mind, man? Like, were you overwhelmed, or were you like, man, like people really know who I am. People really know that my station is doing great, and people really want to be a part of this. Like, were what was your thoughts?
Okay. Well, as the numbers getting bigger and bigger, larger and larger listeners and stuff, I start to learn the analytics of the programs and things of that nature. Where the listeners coming from, how long they was listening to the radio station, when they was listening to the radio station, and so I just start being more, instead of having mass production, mass promotion, I would start kind of targeting different areas and using other promotional tools to kind of see if the numbers could be similar, because I wasn't sure myself, because I'm just a regular person and I was seeing all this, happening. So I was kind of doubting the numbers. So I had to buy more promotional tools to see if these numbers are, true. And like QR codes, you know, and pretty much the same cities. Google Analytics, when I had a website, the same cities, the same states, same countries across the board. And it was like, wow, okay. But
Right.
I was like, since I'm not an artist, I'm not a producer, uh, it I didn't really have a kind of connection, pretty much, if you understand that, because I'm not an artist and I'm not a
Right.
producer. I'm not an aspiring artist either. So it's not
Hmm.
like I was going in the studio. So there was nothing really to gain from it. It just it was just there, pretty much.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it, but another way to look at it, you kind of did something that's uh different. 500,000 listeners
Yep.
in the U.S. and 80 countries.
And those are the
So,
numbers I can count, because I was
that don't
because
happen like that.
I created other stations because I wanted maybe 2 or 3 stations, maybe for a podcast and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And when it just didn't work out, I didn't have time to do it. I kind of closed it out, but I just kept the main station. So
So,
it kept.
so let me ask you a question. With your station, is there a way where you can interview people live on the station as well?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I learned how to do that too. I could have did callbacks too if I had the time, because I did work as well. So I had me a 9 to 5, maybe two, yeah, maybe two 9 to 5s. With 2 jobs at the time. So uh,
So, so
I did this and I had the time.
would you be open to have different radio hosts on your station?
That we are in the talks. I'm talking to a few people. When after the election, I might think about doing that as well. But I'm
Okay,
talking to a
okay,
few people. Yeah.
okay. So, let's talk about the independent artists that you've worked with. That's actually been on your station.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Um,
there was. I mean, I really haven't. Let me make this clear. I really don't know a whole lot. You know, um, there's an artist, the artist that inspired me to create this whole thing. Solo the artist. Uh, how we say? We associates. We're
uh-huh,
not like best friends. We hang out, whatever.
uh-huh,
I just see him at work, or we like talk about music and stuff like. Because I'm pretty much just like unpaid manager.
right,
So I would like give him advice and what you need to do, blah blah blah. But outside of that, I really didn't know anybody. It ain't like we was homeboys, anything like that. And I try to put
right.
that clear with other artists too, because wasn't no favoritism whatsoever. So only way I work for artists if you pay for promotion. If you didn't pay for promotion, you know, pretty much that was it. So I never personally worked with an artist, except for solo the artist. Um, as of right now, one artist who was following me, he's from King Street, Double Thug. Uh, I really don't know him that personally either. But he gave me all the rights to his music, so I guess he sees some things that potential in me. So
let's be clear about this music business. When you're an indie artist and you have to pay for everything, and you see a guy like yourself, that and you read up on him and you do your research on him, and you say, man, he started from the ground up, and he was able to create a internet radio station with 500K listeners that aired in the US and 80 countries. And he had people from other countries calling him. Like, so if people from all over the nation in other countries can see that light in him when it comes to radio broadcasting, when it comes to program directing, when it comes to all the above, then yeah, I can put my career in his hands, because even though he may not know everybody, but everybody want to know him. That's why they send their music to him. Does that make sense to you, bro?
yeah, I see it. But
Yeah.
what they don't understand, I mean, this wasn't a free thing. I was paying a lot of my extra change because this was an LLC too. This was the actual business. Um, so I mean, it just this. I mean, I pay for Facebook promotion, Instagram promotion every week. Because I set a goal. I want people to actually see the charts. I want people to hear the radio station. So out of my pocket, I was paying for promotion. And a lot of artists don't understand promotion is like should be your biggest budget.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
pay
yeah.
for
It should. It should. Hey,
so it just didn't just happen. It was a lot of work into it. So if you
right.
don't have the passion and the sacrifice to do this, then your results will not be the same. And I came across a lot of artists like that, a whole lot of
Yeah,
artists like that.
it's a lot of artists like that, man. Like
A
this is
majority
not
of
for the
artists
weak.
like that.
Yeah, this is not for the weak, man. This is not for
Yeah.
the weak. This music grind. When
Mm-hmm.
you're an indie artist, you have to pay all out your pocket.
Yeah.
And I tell, man, like in indie artists, I say, man, like listen, man. Nowadays through social media, if you see a person like a Snoop Dogg or a 2 Chainz or a Young Jeezy, if you see these major artists running ads on social media, then why wouldn't you, as an indie artist, run an ad?
Right.
It's a no brainer, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a no brainer. So with that being said, man, it's many ways that an artist can make money now. Now, as far as you, your radio station BDS registered as well.
No, it was not. Eight. Airtime Pro. That's what it actually was called. Airtime Pro. It wasn't a licensed radio station,
Uh-huh.
so I use it as a promotional tool.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of created it to be a promotional tool, not as
Uh-huh.
a royalty based radio station.
Okay.
Because if I had to buy a license, it was like way expensive to buy a license from Sound Exchange to license my radio station. So I just use it as a promotional tool, and I did made it clear. I did. I got a live 365 radio station with the same name. Uh, Probably later on, but it didn't was as successful as Airtime Pro because
So did
it didn't have the social media capabilities like Airtime Pro.
did you like have you BDS registered like with a BMI or ASCAP or anything like that?
I was registered as an ASCAP for solo artist as a music publisher, uh, but not as anything else.
Okay.
Hmm.
But you know, you can register your radio station with them as well. Just
I
like
did not know that.
yeah, just like if you own a venue, you can register your venue with BMI, ASCAP, and CSAC
Okay.
as well. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
so that's something that you definitely should look into as well.
Okay.
Um, but so you went on, man, and as far as with the radio station and with you impacting a lot of people, so especially from Chucktown. It's a lot of dope artists in Chucktown. You know, you got Marley Marl, you got Marcus Allen, um, you got my homie Jay Burner, you know, you got my man Zachariah. You know, it's a lot of talent out there in Charleston. So, as far as you in Charleston, how did that buzz grow so big? As far as people getting getting to know you from Charleston and other surrounding areas in South Carolina.
Well, me personally, they didn't know me because I didn't use my name. I just used my brand, SC Hip Hop 100.
Uh-huh.
So no one really saw me until I started doing venues. So I was like pretty much under the radar. No one didn't know who I was. So
Uh-huh.
until I started making going to
Apparently.
venues. Yeah. And that's probably like maybe 3 years later, I guess,
Uh-huh.
roughly. Yeah. Uh but the buzz, I, it wasn't really a local buzz here in Charleston because I don't think there's an infrastructure here anyway to promote the artists. But most of the people was like out of state. Listener was out of state. Uh, North Charleston was okay. It was like in the top five listener based cities, but it was like Washington D.C., San Francisco, Miami. They were all big listening cities on my radio station. So it really, the artists here knew about it, but the listeners, I did a couple of before COVID. I was at Marion Square, passing out flyers, promoting my radio station. But Charleston, this wasn't really the number one station.
Not just Charleston, man.
Listeners,
Let's just like let's forever break this shit down like it's supposed to be broke down, bro. Our home state of South Carolina do not support, bro.
right?
The independent artists are so divided. The
Hmm.
the 864, the 803, the 843, they so divided, but we all from the same state.
Now I did
And
got some. I got a whole lot of artists from the upstate. I think they did a whole lot more promotion than the 843 area code.
yeah,
Upstate did like SC hip hop more than I think locally because I live here in Charleston. So
right.
there's a couple artists on James Island really. They did at the beginning kind of push SC hip hop. I give them that, but most of it was upstate, really.
Yeah, but out of because I've been in this music business for a while, so I have some valid connections and a lot of people tell me, man, that's from out of state. They was like, how could a state that preached so much unity be so divided? Like
Yeah.
like
Eh,
and like I tell artists all the time. I say, man, listen. I said, like, take for instance, like it's artists from Charleston, like linking with artists from Columbia, or linking with artists from Greenville, or linking with artists from Spartanburg, South Carolina, or artists from Greenwood, link up with somebody from Chucktown or Somerville or James Island or Monk's Corner or Estelle or like these collabs make people in different markets know who you are. Like
mhm.
it's a unique strategy about that. You know what I mean? Like you have to link up with people from different areas,
Right.
and you shouldn't just link up with people just do hip hop or R&B. Link up with a country artist, link up with a jazz or blues artist, link up with a rock artist. Like music is such a universal language, and I
Yeah.
don't think artists take full throttle of how much of a universal language it is.
Hmm.
You
So
know what I
true.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta have different marketing strategies. So You know, now the promotional campaigns that you offer to artists on South Carolina 100 Hip Hop, what does those campaigns consist of?
Oh gosh. Uh I try everything really. I did some uh airplays, maybe like 50 airplays, in 30 days. Uh, it wasn't peyote. Someone tried to get me on peyote, but it wasn't peyote because I wasn't a commercial radio station. Uh, what else? I did merchandise. I can make all kind of merchandise. I put your logo, your album cover on shirt, t-shirt, hoodies.
So you're a
Uh,
graphic designer as well?
I guess you could say that. I
Okay.
have there's a website. You can just put things together. You got to pay for it, but you can put things on anything really. Underwear, mugs,
Yeah.
t-shirts. You know, uh, shoot, all kind of stuff. Billboards. Digital billboards. I mean, I have so much marketing tools. It's crazy. You name
Right.
it, I probably could do it. you
Are
know.
you a one man show or do you have a team?
Uh, I'm a one man show, man.
Oh man.
Like I said, nobody
Wow.
didn't know me. I did all this in my bedroom. you know,
Word.
Shoot,
Okay.
on my laptop, I got two laptops. Probably like two tablets, two cell phones. I put all this stuff together on my own.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's dope. That's dope, man. So, now that you have this radio station, but you put it on hiatus for a minute. So, what are the changes or what are the new developments that you will have when you come back to the forefront? And just to let you know this, um, your radio station is a winner. So, um, for a lot of people that's in business, for a lot of people that's in the political forum, the education forum, the tech forum, like the radio station would really, really, really help their business grow with some great advertisement, 30-second commercial, great advertisement. And so I can tell you that it's definitely needed, and like, so what are the new developments that you're thinking about?
Okay. Well, let's see if I can make sure I don't share all my info. Well, I was looking at digital radio tracker
Right.
because I still want to have a music chart. And believe me, creating the music charts was very difficult, even from picking my favorites to collecting all the data. Because later on, I went and how many people listened to the songs, how many people's was viewing the song tweets and stuff like that. So I was counting all those stuff, and it was very difficult, kind of overwhelming sometimes. So I wanted to. Right now, I'm thinking about wanting to create not create a chart, but join a chart like the digital radio tracker,
Right.
top 150 independent charts.
Uh-huh.
Uh, get the radio station chart ready, if that makes sense. You got to get your radio station, uh, I guess, charted. So how many spins that each song get, it can be counted onto the chart if it was
Uh-huh.
enough airplay. So you could be
Right.
on the chart, on a national chart, a global chart, I should say.
Right.
So that's something I'm thinking about doing. It's very
Uh-huh.
expensive. Again, it's very expensive. And I'm kind of on the fence about it because, I'm not a really, I'm a very honest person. So I'm going to tell you the truth about how I really feel about the independent artists here in South Carolina. you know, they they just not big on promotion. They just want to throw your song, email you a song, and think
Man, I,
it's
I just
America.
don't think that's just South Carolina, man. I just think there's indie artists, man.
Mm,
Like some are, but the ones that are really understand the nature of the business,
right,
they the ones that are was already smart. They was already studying like Google Ads and AdSense
right,
and stuff like that. And so they already have an analytical mind. So if you got an analytical mind, and you got great intelligence, you understand that it takes promotions and marketing to move an engine. And
Right.
with promotions and marketing, it takes some type of revenue. And so those artists really understand. And then they understand that you just can't do 1 month promotions and stop. You got to constantly
Right.
do promotion so the
Yeah.
engine can constantly move. And so with the engine constantly moving, then your height is going to get greater in the music industry. You're going to get program directors to reach out. You're going to get filmmakers, music supervisors. You're going to get people who are, who are who are sync licensing agents. So
Mm-hmm.
you can get into those films, those video games, those documentaries, those web series, and things like that. A lot of independent artists don't know, like they can actually be getting different checks when it comes to the music licensing if they got their music licensing. Like you might get a check, this month for $4,000. You might get another check in the next 3 months for 12 grand. Like that music licensing makes a difference on
Mm-hmm.
how you, and then once you get checks like that, it's different things that you can do to hold your career, because those people are going to be calling you and plugging you with these people, and that's how you get to be you get to go on a tour with a bigger artist, and you might get paid 5,000, 6,000 for like 27, 30 dates, only
Right.
because you was connected with the right people. And the film industry is a different type of money than the music industry.
Okay. And not to toot my horn, I know a lot of people, maybe 2 or 3 guys that I can just call right now who actually direct and write web series right now, and their views on YouTube is like in the 6 figures. You know,
Right.
uh, so I have a cartoonist. Well, he does cartoons on YouTube, and his views are very good. I think he's in talks about going on Roku channel, and so and also I know the guy from Love and Hip Hop Miami. He got his record label, and he got his
Mhm.
group of artists too, doing big things in Miami as well. So I know a few people. I can like move music. But it takes money, and I don't know if I really want to invest a whole lot into it. Because I have other things I would like to do. A lot of my friends tell me I should, invest in my poetry. Do a poetry book or something. You know, focus
Well,
on
well,
me.
well,
So.
this what I would tell you about that, bro. I would tell you to go to a studio and drop an EP.
Mhm.
Have your maybe you know a guitar player, drums, a piano player in there. Drop a live spoken word album. You know what I mean? And I would tell you, have a release party. And
Mhm.
invite you a few magazines there, a few DJs, some film directors, some bloggers and stuff like that, and just have like it's no spoken word artist that had a red carpet affair. That'll be so different, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And 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 you can bring the conservatives out, because the conservatives don't come out for hip hop. The conservatives come out for spoken word,
Uh
southern
huh.
soul, a art show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And even have a live art show with artists that paint on the canvas. That sketch.
Yeah.
Um, where you are the featured act as far
Mhm.
as for your spoken word. So it's many ways that you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
And
No
then
doubt.
yeah, there's many ways you can do it. So I would tell you that's not a bad idea at all.
Yep. Yeah. So who knows what will happen? I'm still thinking. I'm still planning. Let's see what's up.
Mhm. Right, right. So um, I was blessed to really meet you through uh,
Meeting the
meeting other
minds.
bosses,
Yeah.
meeting
Meeting
other
out the
bosses.
bosses.
So
Yeah.
so I just want to give a shout out to my man Zach Rock Fame, the rest of the people that's in the meeting of the bosses. So, um, as far as you, man, the whole Charleston market, what is that movement like as far as entertainment?
What, the independent artists?
I'm just saying the whole entertainment movement in Charleston, whether it be independent artists, whether it be film directors, whether it be models or just what is the whole entertainment movement like?
Okay. You want the truth?
Sure.
Uh,
I want the raw for real, for real.
all right. I think I'll be the first one to say I don't. From the 4 years I was doing this, uh, I have been disappointed. Going to live shows, because when I go out to the shows, me having two jobs, take care of an elderly mother and stuff like that. When I go out, when I have time, to go to these shows, I'm expecting to have to see a show, and I have been disappointed time after time after time that I really don't want to even go anymore. Everyone does the same thing. Everyone just hold a mic and jump up in the air and lip sing badly to their music track, and I really don't like that, you know. Uh, so that's disappointing. Promotion wise, I have every job I've been to, I bump people on the streets, ask them about such and such. They don't know this person. I don't think you could find 10 people can name one independent artist out there in the Charleston area.
So
When
I
I
mean, would you say that most people in the Charleston area know Marley Marl and Marcus Allen?
I will say this, Marley Marl has been brought up more than once, a couple times. I think he's probably like the most popular one, and that's it. But anyone else you could name right now, they don't know.
Wow. I would have thought everybody know Marcus Allen in Charleston.
No, his name never been brought up. Uh,
Yeah. As many as awards, he's won R&B Singer of the Year in
and
for
what's your
for, for South
awards?
Carolina Music Awards. Like that's crazy.
Man, a lot of people ain't know about these awards either. So and
Wow. Wow.
I'm grateful to have the SCUMA Awards, because this was a big surprise right here. The SCUMA
Right.
Awards. You know,
Right.
uh, it was for my magazine. I thought Geechee One magazine would take it, but that was like a real big surprise. But
Uh-huh.
however, you know, uh, you can vote more than once for these awards. So I mean, there's somebody probably out there just keep voting for themselves. Uh, you know, uh, the industry night awards. That was a big surprise because I actually helped create this award with Love and Hip-Hop guys. But that was a surprise because they gave me this award. We wasn't even talking about this, but I'm not a big surprise on awards. Unless it was my award because it was based off what I think was, who was, better. Not to knock anybody else, house or whatever. But I just being honest. There's a lot of
Okay.
fakery going on in the independent music scene, pretty much.
Okay.
Uh, so, uh, it, like I said, there's no infrastructure. There's no real infrastructure here to promote you guys. Plain and simple. And you don't want to spend the money to promote yourself. So therefore, that's why no one really have breakout.
Mm.
Plain and simple.
Mm.
And you got
So
also and you got to also understand that radio stations, is out to make money. Uh,
mhm.
so ain't like you just can just throw your music to these radio stations, because record companies are paid for these music to be played, so you can't, interrupt them. That's why we just only have an hour of independent music from Z93 Hit Factory, and that's it. you know. So
yeah, I
it's
mean, and
You know,
and artists, they gotta understand they have to work extra hard to even compete with the majors.
extremely extra hard.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I just saw a lot of fakery going on. So I mean, me personally, I'm going to say that there's not really that much talent here to begin with. No one listened to their music. Uh, they can't even bring 15 people to a show. You know, if you got all these views on YouTube, it doesn't follow with Facebook views or likes or whatever, then you can't believe that anymore because shit, you can buy these things now. So there's a whole lot of fakery going on. So I just don't know what to believe. And that's why I'm like on the fence. I even continue to invest in independent music right now because you just don't know what's real anymore.
Mm. You heard what that man said. You don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake because nobody has an organic following. And when somebody doing a show, they can't even get 15 people to show up at a
Right.
show.
But you
But
can
you
get
got, but you got
15,000
to,
views on, on
yeah,
your music video.
yeah, like it's 15 people in your family, and your own family member gonna show up at the show.
you know?
So that's crazy. So man, I can understand where you from, man. I used to manage artists, man, but not anymore. I'm more on the PR side now, and so
Mm,
I actually learned the PR side with being a manager, but I learned more once I was hired by Exquisite PR firm, and and the CEO, Miss Nicole Jordan, has taught me a lot, about the press release, the EPKs, the media kits. Taught me a lot about the consultate the consultations, how to build, book signings, how to build, red carpets. She just taught me a whole lot. And as far as independent artists goes, a lot of people, they want to support independent artists, but how can you support an independent artist when they don't logically they don't support themselves and they don't believe in themselves enough
right.
for you to spend your money on them.
And then
And
and also you don't produce clean music. You just want to shoot them up, bang bang, have sex, and all kind of crazy stuff. I mean, I understand you might come from that, but if you really want to um get a whole massive following, we gotta clean up your music. There's a whole lot of words, metaphors you can use, you know,
and
in your
and, and,
lyrics.
and then you're right. And people with real money buy clean music. That's
Yeah,
facts.
you know. So nobody want to hear all that. You can use these things as metaphors, if you know your English language. But I I don't know. That's why I'm like on the fence by even continuing to invest a whole lot because I
And
spent a
and,
whole
and
lot
and not only
investing
that,
in hip
Nate.
hop.
Not only that, and then when you ask them why you don't have any clean music, they look at you with a blank stare like you're crazy. I was like,
Yeah,
I told one artist, any artist if you're going on commercial radio, then when you're in the studio, I don't care how many songs you record, you need to record a clean version and a dirty version.
always.
And that's facts. So,
Hmm.
and no matter what you say, I
They
know
still
I'm
hear
not
the
wrong
dirty
about this.
version.
They
Yeah.
they 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 like listen, man. Like I have friends who are radio personalities on syndicated radio, and you know I have to go back in and tell artists that you need to have a clean version always. Like
Yeah.
you really can't send this out to syndicated radio who's with iHeart and like you just really can't send that out, man. So but an artist, yeah, okay, I can understand that you want to buzz in the streets, but the
Right.
streets ain't what get musically, the streets ain't what get you paid.
Exactly.
Musically, commercial airplay gets you paid. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And it gets you book shows.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think, um, getting booked in the hood and getting in and getting booked in a place where you got uh people who might want to become your sponsor.
Hmm.
But they're not gonna want to sponsor you or endorse you if you don't have clean music.
Right.
And then a lot of these artists don't have no originality. They
Nope.
copycats. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? You know, and I can't get you an endorsement or a sponsorship if you sound like someone else.
And another thing too, I have found out as well. Uh, Venues. 'Cause I when I was doing venues, because one of my partners had a building up in Somerville, and I just love creating shows and stuff like that. But once the relationship of the business owner, fell apart, I was looking elsewhere to create shows, to have showcases and stuff like that. I didn't want to go to the same old. Okay, everybody going to 787 or Purple Buffalo. I want to get closer to the downtown area, like Music Farm or other places close to the College of Charleston. Just to get a buzz so people come in and see what's going on. And these places don't even want to have hip hop shows there. I don't know what happened in the past, but it's very hard, very
I
hard.
mean, but I'll tell you this, and people may think this sounds crazy, but in Charleston, downtown Charleston, there's a lot of country cover bands. There's a lot of rock cover bands. There's a lot of independent rock artists, and the only way the hip hop can work with it is if you intertwine the both. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? When the hip hop artists started connecting with the dudes that do rock or the dudes that do country or like just make the connection, like, because it's so divided. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like people that is in the hip hop industry only want to do hip hop and R&B, but that just puts you in a box. Like
Right.
like you got to understand, the people got to get it out their mindset that the universal language is of music is so broad, man. It's
Mm-hmm.
so broad, man. I tell my brothers and sisters all the time, man. Connect with you a pop artist, connect with you a jazz or blues or country artist, connect with you a bluegrass artist, man. Connect with you a folk artist. Like that puts you in a whole different market, which means that's a whole different type of dollar. But
Mm-hmm.
nobody seemed to want to listen, man. And you
Mm-hmm.
as a person that's doing show, people who play live instruments
Yes.
and people who play live instruments, and they may only have a three-piece band, man, but
Mm-hmm.
those are the type of people that you could manage and make a lot of money with.
Yep.
You could
Yep.
go far.
Yep.
Even if they don't do nothing but play Motown covers. You know how
Mm-hmm.
many people want to see Motown reviews?
Yep.
You know what I
No
mean?
doubt. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at with it, man. It's a way that you still can do what you do and great. And so hip hop and R&B is one thing, but when you turn that station into a station that's universal that plays all type of different music besides hip
Right.
hop, bro, it's going you're gonna have sponsors, you're gonna have people try to endorse you. It's gonna blow out the water. You know what I mean? You know what I
Yep.
mean? So and then um, instead of you doing top 100, man, you know top 200, but you might have an artist from New Mexico, you might have an artist from Philly, you might have an artist from Jersey, you might have an artist from Canada, you might have an artist from Italy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that that charting is something serious, but it's got to be universal. It's got to be global. You know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah. I feel
mean?
you.
And so I think that you're on to something. But if I know anything about you, it's got to be very strategically planned before you even do it. So, but man, like
And that's another thing too. When I try to work with other people, they want to do it the next day. Like we got to
no,
promote. We
man,
got to.
man, listen, man. I tell people all the time, don't nothing happen overnight. And Rome wasn't built in a day. So,
Right.
man, it's got to be strategically planned, man. You talking about having a whole radio station, registered, licensed, bonded, all the above. Like that takes some time, man. That takes at
Yeah.
least a good 6 months to a year. But
Yep.
once you get it up and running, it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And once you start doing the ads and put the words out there, people coming.
Yep.
So
No doubt.
that's a definitely good idea, man. Definitely a great idea. Stick with it. Don't give up, man. And just to announce y'all, I'll be having another interview, you know, with Nathaniel, because he is officially running for commissioner. So I'll be having a separate interview with him on his political views, you know, how the education bills need to change, you know, parks and recreations, you know, water and waste management, the purity of the water. We'll be talking about the this generation versus how we came up and what's the difference and what is happening. So we'll go a lot into parenting and we'll go a lot to why kids are self entitled and so privileged now, and why has the word no became obsolete? Why does it seem like as soon as you tell a child no, they instantly got anxiety or they become depressed? I'm just saying, man.
Wow.
Like I'm gonna keep it all the way funky, bro. Like I have never seen so many self privileged
Yep.
kids in my life.
Yep.
Man. And then, you know, when you try to tell them something, you 15 or 16, 17 years old, but you got the whole world figured out.
Yeah. It was
I,
amazing.
I, it's amazing, you know, that
Hmm.
you know, I've been on this earth and to make mistakes and to navigate and find my way back, but you've never seen anything, did anything, never never went anywhere on your own, can't do nothing on your own, but you got the whole world figured out. I just don't
Yep.
understand it.
Yeah.
I
There's
just
a
don't
lot,
understand it.
uh, see, even people who from the hood, they think they got everything figured out because they see a dead body. They think they're hard now, all kind of crazy things, because they got a gun, they think they're hard, so these these kids, man, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know,
man.
man.
So we'll be talking about that, man. But that's more likely going to be on my other podcast, the 95 South podcast, which is me and my partner Icon E out of Atlanta. And just want to say shout out to Miss Tiffany Real for definitely putting us on She Real Radio, and shout out to Queen Kaylee out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, for putting us on Independent Chicks Radio. So we definitely coming, man, and shout out to my family meeting of the bosses. You know, shout out to y'all,
Yo,
man. You know, so peace and love and much respect, and just looking forward to the build, the chop up, and looking forward to doing a lot of things. I'm looking forward to the meeting of the bosses, TV dialogue, that web series, all the above, man. So we definitely gonna make it happen, man, and be on the lookout for a new uh a, a new grown men talk, a podcast TV series called Cigar Talk. Yeah, we coming. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a cigar talk. So we coming. So, but I want to thank you, man, Nate, for coming on and chopping it up with me and sharing your story, sharing your dialogue, and just giving us some great jewels to really go back and just think about, man. You've accomplished so much, man, and you did it because you don't have a giver spirit, that you got the will to win, and that you stay driven. And I can appreciate that. That's inspiration, to all of us. And so I take my hat off. I salute you.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So we'll be chopping it up, man. And until the next time, folks, I want y'all to stay blessed. I want y'all to stay safe. And most of all, keep y'all asses away from COVID. Peace. We out of here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.